Hey guys, GotEmCoach here from TryThisPlay.com. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and reserve your Madden 20 offensive ebook and defensive ebook at TryThisPlay.com at a discounted rate. The ebooks will be released August 2nd when the game is officially released. Hey guys, GotEmCoach here from TryThisPlay.com. Guys, EA just had a crazy stream going on for Madden 20. They released some quality information that we definitely need to know before the game is released. So guys, you're going to hear them during the stream talk about player ratings, the contracts, franchise mode, gameplay, and most importantly, the pass rush that everyone's been going bananas about and how crazy it was. So they're going to let you know any changes and all changes that were made to all of these subjects, and they're pretty much covering the whole entire game in a nutshell, guys. So you guys got to pay attention, listen carefully. They definitely give you some valuable information going into Madden 20, and we're less than a week out from the EA Access early release. So, guys, it's going to be a good game. I'm anticipating it just like everyone else, and we're going to have the best tips ready for you when the game is dropped. So don't forget to stay tuned with us. Enjoy the stream, guys.
Talk to me a little about player rating stretch and kind of what was done this year from that regard.
So the player rating stretch, we raised the ceiling on our attributes that we were using, and we lowered the floor, and we went across every single attribute from every single player for each position, and we reevaluated everybody out, and we separated them to really separate the elite from the very good from the good from the average to the backups, etc., to really make each tier of players stand out from one another.
Got it.
And then that also impacted the overall formulas on top of that. So I think the best example we used is last year the highest pass block for a right tackle was 88. This year it is 95. So we went 7 up on the right tackle and pass block. We also went low on the low end to really help separate guys out because there was a lot of clumping together, and we wanted to really make each player feel different based on what their ratings represent and really separate that out.
But he's like, please update the contract structures in the game. In the franchise deep dive, you claim to put work into making contracts line up with the real NFL, but in reality, there's kind of some things missing, like fifth-year options for first-round picks, guaranteed money restructuring, player team options for certain years in the deals. Are we going to do anything in regards to that? So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that we are representing guaranteed money right now is through signing bonus. It's not exactly a one-to-one because there's guaranteed salary versus signing bonus, which is always guaranteed as well for players. But that's kind of the way that we're supplementing it right now in a year that we didn't have the chance to add additional resources on the franchise side to improve that area. Regarding fifth-year options for first-round picks, it is confirmed that it will be a scenario that we are going to be releasing in a future title update this year. So that is something very big, getting that fifth-year option for first-round rookies. And the other things, the guaranteed money structures and various options, they're things that we definitely want and we're going to look into in the future as well.
He was talking about when simulating games, QBs do not record rushing stats. So
Yes.
What are we doing in that space?
We're looking into it. It really ties into our Super Sim engine. It's a very large and complex system, but we are looking into it because it is an area that we know is a big deal, especially for guys like Lamar Jackson, like Marcus Mariota, et cetera, Deshaun Watson, to have these types of rushing stats because it's a huge part of their game. We already are working on things to address it in standard gameplay. We're also looking into it in the Super Sim engine as well.
He talked about when he played the Madden 20 closed beta that it felt like there was a lack of depth in franchise and just in general. Can you talk a little bit about that and what we're doing to kind of add more depth in that space?
Well, we're adding a lot of scenarios to the game for launch, and we're going to be adding continuous development scenarios throughout the entire course of the year. And I think that's really an area that we can expand upon, that type of living world and having different people approach you, really make it feel like you're part of a team, that different members of your organization are interacting with you, and all the different things that come with it. Could be players, could be coaches, etc., to really help enhance that experience and add more diversity to the content that we had in the beta, because it was a small snippet of what is to come.
For sure. To your creative player and franchise.
Absolutely. So we have different paths for that, especially through Face of the Franchise, where in Face of the Franchise, you can equip your abilities at any given point. However many slots that you have unlocked, you can mix and match, and you can really have that type of freedom. And we want to make that My Player experience really stand out and let you have that customization and freedom relative to the standard franchise mode, where whatever they earn is what they will have. but it's based on archetype and other factors involved.
Okay. In Connected Franchise, is Superstar X Factor something you can earn, or do you have to be drafted with it?
Both, actually. So you can earn the abilities through performance, through awards, different things of that nature. We removed the ability to lose dev trait this year, so you'll have guys going up. It's not exactly easy to get the new dev traits, which is why we felt comfortable not having the regression down in dev trait, and we don't think it's going to oversaturate the league. But you will also be able to draft players with Superstar or Superstar X Factor abilities. We added a little bit of Fog of War to the abilities, or to the dev traits in the draft. So if you have Star, Superstar, or Superstar X Factor, you will have a hidden development trait that you have to play a certain number of snaps with that rookie to then unlock what their dev trait is.
Okay.
So you know that you have something that's above normal dev trait, and then you find out how special these guys truly are after you really experience them as a player.
Okay, good stuff.
I just want to talk a little bit about the rating stretch relative to franchise.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So first off, the one thing that you should really look at is the rank at the position. So the way that we have our contract system set up and the way that teams are built is with all of the ratings lower, rookies might be below established veterans. But the lower the overall and the younger the player, the faster they will progress. So in theory, if they are focus trained, which they will be because they are newly drafted players, they're going to rise up above low-level veterans who they will then surpass and get the playing time on. And for the contracts, it's based on the overall of the player's contract right then.
Okay.
So if you have someone who's an 82 overall who gets, let's say Carson Wentz being the tied for the 12th best quarterback, and he has a $180 million contract, that number will help influence other 82 overall quarterbacks in the future.
Wow.
So you take the entire contract structure, it's the contract relative to the overall, and that really helps shape the contract structures across the board. So even though everything's scaled down, we also are taking that into account with our progression, our regression, and with our contract system.
That's great stuff. You got these Superstar X Factors in game now. You got these superstar abilities. It's really confusing because you get in there and you don't exactly know what's going on. There's just all this stuff. You don't know how to get them in the zone. You don't know how to get them out of the zone. People are pausing the game. When they're pausing the game, it takes you out of your flow. Our whole idea is like fast to fun, get people engaged. But it's just when you don't have the information, it's a very slow and aggravating process. What did you guys do to address that?
And then during game, which is we wanted to try to find a more active place to do that, and that's where we came up with the concept of X Factor Vision, which we have up on the screen now. And so the concept here is we've taken Coach Cam on right trigger, and we've swapped out the coach wheel with an X Factor Vision wheel, for lack of a better word. And what you can do with the right stick is you can scroll between the two teams on offense and defense, and we'll highlight the different players as you move across. So if you only have one X Factor or Superstar on your team, there'll only be one up there, but the feature will support up to 11. So like when we had the Pro Bowl where we had a bazillion icons and everybody's really confused and unsure of what each person does, we can support a max out thing. But for balance and whatnot, we're trying to keep it around 3 players per side of the ball, just to make those guys feel really impactful and not water down the point of this feature.
So let's talk about gameplay. First off, let's talk about the thing that everybody wants to know about is pass rush. What happened?
Yeah, pass rush. That's a good place to start. I'm going to look right into the camera. There was no change to pass rush. We did not tune pass rush. We didn't do anything to pass rush. It's at its exact same state that it was in the beta. But there is a new mechanic that I am introducing today that deals in that space. We now have user-controlled block and release hot routes and blue routes for tight ends. So basically, anytime you have a tight end in an inline position that's either in a 3-point stance or in a wing position, and he has a blue route or you hot route him to a blue route, he will now be in pass block until you hit his receiver icon button, which will then release him into his route at whatever time you want. So you know exactly when he's going to go. The cool thing about that is, based on his awareness rating, that's how responsive he'll be to the button press. So if he's very low in awareness, he might be delayed when you hit the button, so he'll be a little late. And if he's really high awareness, he'll be really responsive. There is a max timer on there, so you can't just run all the way back to the end zone and then release your guy. So I would expect, between 3 and 5 seconds, there is a max timer he will eventually release. But if you run the play as you should, you can hit the button and tell him when you want to release. And this is important to the pass rush conversation because this is a good counterbalance to the edge rush heat. If you're having trouble with that, you want to put a tight end over there. and know when he's going to get out and have a little outlet.
Sure.
So it's a nice little tool in your tool belt to counter the edge rush, and it's the first of 2 blocking mechanics that we will be launching this year. The second one I can't talk about today will be coming in a title update.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about man coverage. So we did see some feedback on that. What do we do in the area of man coverage?
Man coverage. So even though there was some people saying don't change man coverage, we did make a few very surgical updates to man coverage. There was not any global tuning or nothing that would impact it as a whole. What we did do is tune the cut moves for wide receivers on post and corner routes, which are typically man-beating routes. We tuned those to be more effective for receivers who hold those abilities that give them special cuts on corners and posts. And then we also did some work to make man coverage defenders react more appropriately to the receiver cut immediately following a press animation.
Yep. Okay.
Especially on outbreaking routes.
Okay. How about zone? What do we do in zone?
No change.
Okay. All right.
There you have it, guys. All the changes that were made so far going into Madden 20 with almost a week away. And guys, leave in the comment section what you think should be changed, what shouldn't be changed. I want to hear your feedback, and we're going to debate about it in the comment section below. So if you haven't already, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Visit TryThisPlay.com for more premium tips, ebooks, and coaching. Thanks again for watching, guys.